Habibs and Habibis, what is up? It's your boy Miguel back again with another video, and today we have Xiaomi's Mix Fold 2, which is in a way kind of like a direct response to Samsung's Galaxy Fold 4, or Xiaomi's way of telling them what they are also capable of doing. And right on top, one of the things that I first noticed is the Leica branding, which tells you right away that this phone should have a pretty good camera. We recently saw the Leica branding on Huawei phones, but that's not the case anymore. Now Leica looks like it has collaborated with Xiaomi, because we did see a similar collaboration with the Xiaomi 12S Ultra. The variant that we have today comes with 12 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of internal storage, which is a lot. And we also have Harman Kardon speakers and also Dolby Atmos collaboration. So this tells you that this is a flagship phone from Xiaomi. Now, before I get into the unboxing, I should mention that Xiaomi's Mix Fold 2 is kind of like a record breaker, because this is the world's thinnest and lightest foldable phone, which is an important detail and also very hard to pull off, especially on foldable devices. Now, coming down to the unboxing, you can tell right away that this will be a premium experience, because this is the flagship device, so everything is extra nice. Up top, we have this huge card which mentions Xiaomi's VIP service, which gives you premium customer support. For example, Xiaomi will come to your home to repair your device or pick it up if needed, but this is only available in certain countries. Taking out the phone, and you can see the phone in its unfolded state, and immediately the camera on the back is what caught my immediate attention. We'll turn it on and let it boot up, and in the meantime, we'll look at the rest of the box. Now down here we have 3 separate boxes, each one for each accessory or component that it comes with. We also have the cable box, which contains the USB-C cable. The same box also contains a dongle or an adapter, which is kind of unique to see because you usually don't see these anymore. And it also contains the SIM ejector pin. We have the adapter box, which contains the charger, and it is a 67-watt fast charger, which we've previously seen with other Xiaomi devices. And the Mix Fold 2 has a 4500 milliampere battery, so this charger should charge the device pretty quick. Now, finally, looking at the case here, which is really interesting. I kind of expected a silicone case, but no, we have a very nice vegan leather type of material here. We also have this stand here that allows you to put your phone on a standing position. And coming to the Mix Fold 2, let's take this wrapper off, and immediately this phone looks more like a fancy piece of accessory or a piece of jewelry rather than an actual phone, and that is because of the color as well. And as I mentioned, this is a very thin device, and to compare, I have an iPhone case here, and you can see just how much thinner the Mix Fold 2 is. I wouldn't say half, but it is at least 1/3 thinner than an iPhone, which is really thin. Looking at the build and the design, up top we have Harman Kardon speakers. We actually have them on both sides. We also have the USB-C port and a side-mounted fingerprint scanner. On the top we have the SIM tray, and the IR blaster is also located here on the top. Now, folding the device, it really does not feel thick at all. It feels pretty much like a regular phone, and I don't think this would even bother me in my pocket, or it would kind of be noticeable. The display outside is also just like a regular full-size screen. It does not feel like a foldable device. Unlike what Samsung had done, it had a lesser quality display on the top, but Xiaomi actually has the same display on the outside that it has on the inside. And I'm going to go ahead and put on this case, and I'll show you how it looks like with the stand. So if we open it up, this is how the phone actually stands in its unfolded state, which is kind of great if you want to watch movies or just use this as a work phone, because it kind of gives you a slight laptop vibe. So this is a really good work phone. Another thing I noted here is that when folding it, normally foldable devices stop at a specific angle, but here this phone only is kind of has a full closed or a full open, so it does not stay in the middle at all. And according to Xiaomi, they actually re-engineered the hinge to make it unfold this way. So they've actually just removed you can kind of say like a position where it only folds to the full closed mode or fully open mode. All right, talking more about the display, as I mentioned, that the display on the front here has all the features you would see on any flagship phone. Normally, companies do not focus on this side of the screen and rather focus on the internal folding screen, but this is a full full-on display with 120 Hz refresh rate, and it also has around 1300 nits of brightness, which is actually really good in my opinion. On the inside, we have an equally impressive display with an ultra-thin glass technology, which you actually have to be careful with because it is ultra-thin, so you're not supposed to use pointy styluses. There should be a specific stylus that can be used with this device. And on the inside as well, we have 120 Hz display. Talking performance, we have 12 gigs of RAM, which is very impressive, and Snapdragon's latest 8 Gen 1 processor, which is amazing to see on such a thin device. And that is why the Antutu benchmark score that you see here comes with an impressive million+ points. And if you're wondering whether you can game on this device, absolutely you can. Performance-wise, this is as good as it gets. Another impressive thing here is the battery, which has 4500 milliamperes. And yes, that is a very common capacity, but it's not really common to see it on such thin devices. So it's nice that they did not skimp when it comes to the battery. And also with the 67-watt charger, you shouldn't really have to worry about it. Now, opening up PUBG, you can see that it asks you if you want to play in the, what mode you want to play in. And if you want to play with the device unfolded, it will restart and open up the application again with the full screen. We do get Ultra HD availability for the gameplay, and we were very easily able to play for quite some time without the device slowing down or heating. There was no thermal throttling of any kind, which is not common on foldable devices. So yes, the gaming experience on the Mix Fold 2 is pretty good. And talking about the cameras, we only have a front camera on the outside. There is no camera on the inner display. On the back, we have a triple camera array with the 50 megapixel IMX766 sensor, which is a Sony sensor, and which is further collaborated with Leica. We also have an 8 megapixel telephoto and a 13 megapixel ultra wide. Talking about video, you can record in 8K, and overall talking about the camera quality, I really have nothing to complain here. I should mention that normally when you have this sensor, the IMX766 sensor has been seen on other phones, and that sensor is a little bit big. So it's impressive that they managed to actually squeeze it in such a thin body. One thing to mention here is that now that I see the video is that this is actually a pretty noticeable crease, but in real life it's not really that noticeable. So on camera, yes, it may seem like there's a big crease, but again, the Fold 4 also kind of has the same crease. The Fold 3 had around the same crease. There's no escape from that at the moment, but there may be a time in the future when we have a fully creaseless display. But for now, this is pretty good. So yeah, guys, that is it for the Xiaomi Mix Fold 2. Let me know your thoughts about this phone in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching. Do consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Yalla, bye bye.